Oh, now it
It's
says on air for me.
happening. Can it happen?
This is
Wait.
scary.
Yes. So, hello everyone. We are live streaming the aux cable. For the first time ever, we are live streaming our recording of the aux cable. And it's going to be great. We're going to have fun, and you're going to get to see what happens when we are not able to edit stuff out.
What happens when Ryan misspeaks?
Dun, dun, dun. And let's see. Angie just commented, not on the live stream, but on Facebook.
I just opened the groups app. She says, when is it happening? Can it happen after 5:50 PSD? For us working folk? Why, Ryan? Why? Wait till it's all Ryan's fault, everybody.
Yes, I'm sorry.
When it will be available after the live stream, like right away. And Ryan's probably like already commenting on it. Trube.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Let us get started. So yeah, for the advertisement, Matthew, yeah, I'll be Will. And
testing. I'm testing my recording.
Woo.
And I didn't even listen to it back. Oh my word. Come on.
I want to make sure that my recording works by not testing it.
Well, I tested it, but I didn't listen back to it, so I don't know what it sounded like. It's horrible, by the way, just for the record.
What do you think of like, just so that, like, I think that it might be fun, since this is our first one, I'll post it also on the blog, and everyone, including non-patrons, can see it. What do you think?
They just won't be able to watch it live. Whoa, I hit the thingy. I'm like making noise and
no, I mean,
yes,
like, we could post it now, and then they'd be able to watch it live if they see it. Do you think
on our blog?
Yeah,
I think try it. See what happens.
Try it. Okay.
You'll probably get the people from Not Forum.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Okay, aux cable show, new post.
I have to watch what I say now, don't I?
For the first time ever, we are
not even listening.
Live. No, I'm here. I hear you.
He's like, I'm not gonna give that a response. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait a bit so it's not so much on my facey. There we go. Word. Da 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 dum. Da 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 dum. Da 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 dum. It sounded like that was starting to do the chicken dance, and it turned into that. Okay, what's that? Oh, it's from Mario, Super Mario.
Mm-hmm.
When the da 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 dum da 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 dum.
Yeah, it's the second level.
Yeah, that thing, whatever it is. Okay.
Level 2.
Hiccup. Okay, that sounds better. Thank you, Matthew, for testing. Oh, you're welcome. I do it just for you. Well, actually, no, I don't do it just for you. I do it for the podcast. So this episode. The bird is tweeting. You need to take away the phone from him.
I get that. That's funny.
Or I could like just report him and be like, yo, this bird needs to be blocked.
And then I'll put it on the socials real quick. Bum 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 bum.
Now you both got Mario on your head. People, I am not crazy. Well, I am crazy, but
that's well, our intro says that we're crazy, or does it just say that I'm crazy?
What?
Or did you keep that? Did you not keep that?
Keep like, what on our website?
No, on the intro to this podcast.
You were like to the podcast.
You were like coming up in this episode, I'm going crazy.
Oh no! Oh, I changed. No, I didn't. But it's coming up in this episode. Ryan loses his mind. We speak in the third person, and Ryan loses his mind. Didn't Ryan just say that?
Yeah.
And then did Ryan just lose his mind? Matthew thought so. Ryan loses his mind. This week on the aux cable, it's horribly horrible.
as opposed to greatly horrible or fantastically horrible.
It's worse than horrible. It's whatever you said.
Okay. Well, all of the socials now have a live stream link, so we can get
We have
started.
2 viewers, it says. Now 3 viewers. We have
What?
people watching us. This is
Wow,
not good.
they're all coming in. For those who just joined,
Now it's
Oh.
back down to 2.
oh, it's down to. I wonder if the 2 are just us. Oh, it can't be because
First should be last. Oh, wait,
if we-
is that Josh? It says
it's
Blimey
Blimey
watching this.
Cow and Chris and
We
oh
have
wow,
5
this
people.
happened right after I posted it on my personal Twitter. Hey,
Well,
Geekway,
of course it did.
Chris.
Of course it did. Uh-oh.
Dun dun dun. What have I done?
We posted a meme thing on our Instagram the other day, and it was like, for the first time in forever, we posted our podcast on time. And now, like Ryan, he said, for the first time in forever, we are live streaming. So
No,
we
it
have a
says first
theme.
time ever.
Oh, well, I filled in
For
the.
the first
I
time
filled in.
ever.
You have to hold it. For the first time forever. There you go. There you got
For
it.
the first
And that's
time
as much as we're allowed to sing.
ever.
Now it's gonna be
I
Western.
hope we're not
For
annoying
the first-
anyone.
So
be quiet.
we're going to be recording a podcast. This is the first time we're doing it live. Ryan and I don't have practice recording this podcast live. I was gonna suggest that we practice it first, but we were just like, no, let's just jump in and do it. So
How do you
we're gonna mess up.
practice doing it live?
Well, like you just do it, I guess. And
we
then,
just
like,
we started Google
wing it.
Hangouts on air, but we don't make it live. We don't broadcast. We just like we're here, but we're not broadcasting it. That's how you practice.
Because sometimes when we're recording, we are like go off on tangents in the middle, especially when we're like doing the advert. We'll just be
Mhm.
like something. Oh, we just got a comment. Don replied to a comment. I mean, if you really want to assassinate someone it's not an assassination. Likely, you're actually pulling out a knife and killing someone. Okay.
Oh, is this on the
what's
website?
happening on our website right now. Yeah, people are talking about assassinations and
like,
killing
guys.
people with knives.
Guys, we've got a live stream going. Come and join us. Okay.
Oh, you changed your photo on our website too. You changed your photo everywhere. You're like, this one,
Yep.
I don't like it anymore. I like this
Yep.
new one better.
That's how branding goes. You gotta be consistent. You gotta be consistent.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that you would think to change it on our website. Like, that's
well, so
Okay.
I made it new on Twitter,
Hi,
and then
Shining
someone
Bond.
mentioned it's still. They were like, I forget what the old picture was. Never mind, it's still on the website. I was like, oh man, no.
Someone's like, I can find it still.
They found me, but then I
Yeah.
changed it there, and I was like, or is it? Is it on the website? It's not. Ha ha.
Both screens. What does that mean, Shining Dawn? Are you watching it in like 2 places at once?
It's on the TV, the computer, and the phone.
Yeah, all the screens. Oh, hey, Ryan has his TARDIS blanket. Well, he always has his TARDIS blanket. He's a geek.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm also too lazy to put up my thick, heavy black blanket that's like stored in my closet or something. So I just
And-
take this off my bed and use it to
Yeah,
dampen.
Ryan, he's like it's for blocking some echo in our rooms. This one is my blanket, but it's not to block echo from my rooms. It's to block the view of my messy room. Okay.
Okay, Matthew, are you ready to start recording?
I don't know. Are you ready?
I'm
If
ready.
I'm ready, then if you're ready, then I'm ready.
Okay, well, if I'm ready, then I'm ready,
Oh,
and
you
if
see
you're
Ryan
ready,
and Matthew. Yes,
we're all
you
ready.
can see both
I
of
pressed
us.
record.
We're ready. Oh, you push record. How dare you? I'm not ready. There we go. No, I'm ready. I'm
You
totally
said
ready.
you were ready if I was ready, and I was ready.
Yes, so I am ready. So the real
Okay.
question here is, where did you take this new picture of yourself?
That was at work, actually. So they needed some headshots taken of company people. So I've been handling that for the past 2 weeks, getting people scheduled and taking their pictures. And on that list was me, because I'm also a new hire. So it's for our team page. But I basically, for my pictures, I had Josh come over and I said, okay, so here we got the settings all configured. Just press the shutter button over and over. And I just did a bunch of poses. And so I've got my profile picture, which was just normal, but then I've got a bunch of pictures I've been using, like on the Patreon page.
This is why you don't ask Ryan a question, because then he just starts explaining every single little thing. I was just wondering where you took
At
it.
work.
That's all.
At work.
Okay.
I could just be really short with
We're gonna do that countdown now, right? You could.
Okay, yes. The countdown. 5, 4,
4,
3,
2,
1.
1. Clap or not clap.
I clapped. It is a baby
I
clap.
didn't hear you clap. It's a bit of sock clap. Okay. So I'm ready when you are. Are we
Okay.
gonna
Let me
we
prepare
just
my
jump in?
my shouting voice.
Okay. Oh well, 8 people now. Good gravy.
Oh wow.
The nerves go up. The nerves go up.
Don't look at the numbers, Matthew. Don't look at the Matthew. Don't look at the
No.
mouse.
Oh, it went back down to 7. Okay, it went back down to 7. Oh, now 6 people.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, no.
I feel like
You're saying you're nervous and they're running away.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
I can deal with it.
All right. Coming up in this episode, Ryan loses his mind.
We speak in the third person.
And Ryan loses his mind.
Didn't Ryan just say that?
Did Ryan just lose his mind?
Matthew thought so.
Ryan loses his mind. I think it'd be really funny to later put a sound effect in there, like an explosion sound effect. Ryan loses his mind. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
This week on the Ox Cable.
Ouch.
Ouch. I wonder if that ever disturbs people. I wonder if that ever disturbs my roommates.
It's like they're like they play the episode and they're like, "Hey, this is great." And oh, never mind. I'm turning this off.
It's all downhill from here.
Well, we have to set expectations realistically up front,
Right.
Okay. So, Babble on. Ryan.
Babylon. That's the place where they babble on. Ha! I just thought of that.
No, take it away. Be like episode. Start it, Ryan.
Oh, you want me to start the episode? That's right.
Well,
that's a thing I do.
You normally do that. So
I do.
had to
Sorry,
remind you.
I got
Come
distracted by Babylon because I was babbling on. How ironic.
No, never. The screech will live on forever.
Hey,
Gabe.
Gabe!
We didn't
Gabe!
even start talking. We can do this.
We can. Okay. Welcome to the Ox Cable, the show where we get you plugged into advice on everything.
Everything.
I'm Ryan Matlock.
I'm Matthew Bird, and this is the Ox Cable, just like Ryan said.
Yes, and it's the 32nd episode.
Already? You know,
Yep.
Someone emailed us. I'm not naming names here, but someone emailed us, and they were asking if we ever saw ourselves getting to this point, like it is, like how has it changed from our vision, kind of thing and stuff. So
That is interesting. I definitely didn't expect the advertisements and all. Well, actually, so the vision I had, I guess I didn't expect such a tight knit, cool community. That's one thing. Like I didn't expect it to be
all the people,
like to grow, like the people, the faces. The
I
OxyClan.
expected the show. I did not expect the community around the show.
Mm-hmm.
That is what. Yeah, but see up front. Ryan, he was very focused on the questions and stuff, but I was like, no, let's do fun skit things. And I was just always like, we'll do it later. And Ryan's just like, we'll do it later. And then we ended up integrating that through the advertisements that we did in the middle of the show. So that is like, it's always been sort of in the plan to do that. It's just, we didn't have a firm idea of how it was going to take shape. So I'm happy with where everything is.
Me too.
And now we're live streaming this on.
Yes. Yeah, this is the first episode we've ever live streamed. And as we record this, people are actually watching. Like, you could be listening to the podcast in the future and having already heard the podcast in its unedited form. How crazy is that? Technology, man.
You might be able to catch this on, what do you call it? YouTube, our YouTube channel afterwards and just watch. And then I think the plan is like this one, we open up to a lot of people, but I don't know what the plan is. We're going to have to figure it out because it's supposed to be like limited to like patrons and something or something. Like Ryan
Right.
started explaining it to me, and then I was just
Yeah.
like, no, let's just open it up. And then like he's like, no, and then he did open it up, and I was just like, oh, so now you're listening to me. And then
Well, I tend to take all my friends' advice or thoughts into consideration because I care about your opinions.
or they are the ones who are right, and you just don't want to admit it.
No,
Time travel's
that
weird.
me taking that into consideration and then doing it, that would be me admitting it, would it not?
Yeah, but you're not like actively saying, "Oh yeah, you're right, Matthew."
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you were right,
or
Matthew.
whoever. It doesn't. It's not just Matthew. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to say it. I'm not saying anything about it. Anyway, moving on. So today is the 17th of May.
Well, today's
And
technically
something
the
special
6th of May, but we'll be releasing it the 17th. Yeah.
Yes, like Gabe said, time travel's weird. So
Uh-huh.
this comes out a week and a half in the future, essentially, almost 2 weeks. And today is the 17th when you're listening to this on the regular Aux Cable thing. Today's birthday. Well, there's a birthday, Ryan. Did you know this?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It will be Angie's birthday on the day that this is released.
How about we just
So
say
it
happy
is.
birthday,
It is
Angie?
happy
And
birthday.
we'll
Happy
pretend it is.
birthday,
We'll
Angie.
pretend.
To the person who does our marketing for free, out of the goodness of her
For
heart.
free.
Thank you.
She actually just messaged me before this, and she was like talking business and everything, and I was like, we should discuss this later because we're about to record. But yes, happy birthday, Angie. I know how much you don't want us to make a huge deal out of this, but at the same time, we're going to make a little bit of deal out of this. So happy birthday. As Wooten says,
Today is your birthday. Happy birthday.
Today
is your birthday. Happy birthday. Hey.
Hey! Yeah. That was not planned, everybody. Okay.
No,
Revenge of the
I wonder if
Sith.
we were in sync when it like on the like to them. I wonder if we were in sync.
Yeah, we were probably. I don't know. That was a reference, Matthew. That was a reference. We're allowed to reference things, though, Gabe. Okay, for people
Especially
watching.
Odyssey. When did we ever make a rule that we couldn't reference Odyssey?
Yeah, we repealed the rule, the thing against referencing Blimey Cow / Kevin / Josh. So
We repealed it as a gift to ourselves for making it to 30 episodes.
Ryan kept losing. He was tired of losing that, so that's why he's like, let's repeal this. Let's make it not a thing anymore.
Sure.
Yes,
that's why we did that.
Anyway, so we also have a survey coming out. It's not available right now for you people listening to us live. It's going to be available tomorrow. We'll say the 18th. auxcableshow.com, and it's going to be questions about us, basically. It's going to be like an evaluation form. And Ryan, we forgot to settle on a thing,
A day
incentive. No, an incentive.
Oh, the incentive. So I am willing to. I'm thinking it's going to be that we're going to do a random draw. So if you take the survey, then you will be entered into a random drawing. Not like a drawing on a piece of paper, but like a drawing where we take paper out of a jar or something. And the person who wins this will be getting a $5 gift card of their choice between Amazon or iTunes or Google Play. And you will also get the opportunity to Skype with us. I think that was so that was Matthew's suggestion, was the Skype. I was thinking the gift card, and then I was like, why not both?
Okay, so we'll do like one draw for one draw for the other, maybe, or something. I don't know. Chances go up that way.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll figure it out. Anyway, that is that for that. So for that is done. We'll move on now, Ryan. Yes.
Sounds
yeah. We're
great.
just gonna ask. Please fill out the survey if you're listening to this on
Yep.
the 16th or 17th or whatever day today is.
And we'll try to remind you at the end of the episode, so that if you're like on your phone and you're like, oh, I'll fill it out once I'm done listening to the episode, then we'll have that. Okay, I think that's all for the things that we gotta mention, right?
Yes. Just yes.
Guessed.
Just move forward.
Okay. All right. Then we have a discussion question to get to before we get to our questions and everything. So
The
it's
regular
called
stuff.
the name of this discussion is called No Name Brand.
No, that's not what it is. I just put it in because usually questions are from someone. So instead of like putting in a name, because this one I made up the question myself. So just for the fun of it, in the script I wrote No Name Brand instead of writing an actual name.
But it makes sense because the question is, what kind of breakfast cereals would you like to see in stores? So we're not talking about like breakfast cereals you already see that are name brand. We're talking about no name brand cereals.
Because they don't have a name yet.
Right. So Matthew, so you came up with this question. Is this a thing that you think about a lot, like
No, it's
cereal
not.
you like to see?
No, I'm just really good at coming up with questions when pressed for questions. So
Okay. I'd like to see mini waffles with like instead of putting milk in the cereal, you put syrup. And so it's just like you warm up the mini waffles in like the microwave or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how you do this, but it's like mini waffles that like they're the size of cereal things, but then you pour them into a bowl and then you have syrup and butter that you mix in, and it'd be like it's like having waffles for breakfast,
Okay.
but it's cereal. You know?
So Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You're saying it would be like that instead of but instead of like Toast Crunch, it's like a waffle thing.
Cinnamon waffle crunch. Syrup waffle crunch. That'd be what it's called. Syrup waffle crunch.
But what if I don't want crunchy waffles? What if I want like the soft, like warm? And like, what if I want warm? Like, do I serve this with like hot milk?
I don't know. I just like waffles. And Shining Dawn said sounds too sweet to me, and Gabe in the box said, "Can you drink syrup, Ryan?" I can't.
Yes,
True.
you can. You can. Well, I can. I don't know if Ryan can, but I can. I'm Canadian. It's like instead of at the end of a long hard day, you sit back with a jar of or a can of Quebec maple syrup. So
I think it'd be cool to like make a very specific, like this sounds totally fake and probably not good for you, but special Cheerios that never get soggy. Like they just get to the right consistency of moist with the milk, but they'll never get soggy.
How soggy is too soggy though? For each person that might be different because some people will be like, I like it when they like are barely.
Well, there'd be different grades.
Together.
See, there'd be different grades. Like there's grade A soggy, grade B crunchy, or something like that. And then it's like F is the point where it becomes mush in an hour, and A is the point where like it's still the same consistency as before you put in milk. Okay, so it's like a spectrum.
Okay, it's a spectrum. It's you can. I like it when sometimes I like Cheerios that crunch, and so it's just like as soon as you pour the cereal, you eat it right away. And then other times I'm like, no, I gotta let it sit for like 4 minutes, and then it'll be the right soggy level.
Okay, gotcha. So what would be your cereal?
Oh, yes, I need to say. Okay, so I have to come up with something. Okay, so there's a part of me that's like, well, you know how people when they wake up in the morning and they're like, I don't want to like make food or anything, and they open up the fridge, they look inside, and there's some cold pizza there, right? So for those people, how about like mini pizza cereal? And they're just like itty bitty little, like our cereals, both of our cereals are like taking normal size food and shrinking it down into breakfast cereal size, and then you put it into milk or syrup or whatever you want, and then so pizza cereal, breakfast pizza cereal, cold breakfast pizza cereal. The name keeps getting longer. How about we just call it
pizza cereal?
Pizza cereal. Okay. Now I want to know like who would be the brand mascot for each of these cereals? That's my real question.
Pete the pizza.
Pete the pizza. 9. Okay. For yours, Ryan, what was it? Waffles.
Wait. So which one? The cereal, the Cheerios, or the waffles?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do the waffles because so for yours, the waffles, it'd be like Willy the Waffle, And
Willie the Waffle is really awful because he's too sweet.
I was just, oh my word, I was literally about to do something like that, except I was going to do something. He's really awful, and something about falafel as well. Because falafel is okay. Now I want to have. Okay, how about we do? Maybe we should just move on before this gets.
Maybe it'd be
like,
the Waffle Tower. The Waffle Tower.
the Waffle Tower. Maybe this segment is waffle, and we shouldn't be.
Maybe.
continuing.
So actually, we have a really good question to get to. It's like very important, very like the one that we're really looking forward to answering, and like we just need to answer this. So
This one's been asked a lot in the Not forum. Like they've been discussing this one a lot.
yeah. So we'll get to that one. So that's the pause where we get interrupted.
Okay.
Right? That's what we're doing?
Yes, something like that. So I don't know if we should explain this to the live people or
Yeah.
just do
So
it
the
and
live
then
people
just,
get the behind the scenes, like how they get the raw everything. So
Uh-oh.
what we're doing now, so our advertisement, and actually, like first I want to mention it's super funny just because I'm reading the comments as we're going through this episode and I'm laughing like under my breath. You might be able to hear me, and it's gonna be interesting.
You weren't reacting to me, you were reacting to them. It was sad. I was sad.
I was reacting to both of you. Both of you. Equally. Okay. Anyway, so our advertisement is not actually an advertisement this time. It's going to be like we got interrupted by a broadcast and they're reporting on something, and we're going to add tons of sound effects later, and it's going to sound great. And I'm going to play around with my soundboard a little bit. It'll be awesome.
As a point of like a note for people who want behind the scenes stuff while Ryan is like whatever. This was inspired by the show Whose Line Is It Anyway? And their segment, the Strange Newscasters, or and the other one that they do, which is News Flash, where Ryan and Colin are like, Colin's in front of a green screen, right? And he doesn't know what's happening behind him. So like that's where this idea came from.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, let me switch over. Okay.
So for this,
I start, right?
The narrator, like the voiceover dude, like I didn't even like put names for this. You just have to like, assume, like, because it's just back and forth. But the beginning, that part there, you have to like lower someone's voice and like use.
Oh, so this is not the same person as this person?
No, it's like I was thinking this, and it'll be, and then this would be like dun da 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 music right there. Da, da, da,
okay.
Dun, da, dum, and then it's like, hi, I'm Will Terzar.
Okay, so you do the first person on or you do the intro guy.
I've always wanted to do like, instead of doing like a nice low deep voice that you're supposed to do for these kinds of things, is like be like high and nerdy and like and but I'm not gonna do that this time. Voiceover, really? What does that mean? Yours truly, Chris. I don't know. Anyway, we'll just go.
Oh, it's a ref.
Is it a ref?
Yes. I think it's to like say goodnight, Kevin, or like some reviewer, like whenever like there's voiceover at the beginning of a movie. Pretty sure Kevin like makes fun of that.
The voice is over the video usually, but in this case there's no video, but there's like this implied imaginary video, Gabe. So I answered the question.
Okay.
I'm
gonna change my name, by the way. It'll be great.
Oh, really? I'll have to like insert it and stuff later. Okay, like just anyway. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a special breaking report on a currently developing story. Is that good enough for now?
Hi, I'm William Army, and
can I share what the original one was, please?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I was writing this.
Yeah. So we have we were trying to come up with some fake names that sound like actual sentences.
Yeah. So like, because on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Colin, he always comes up with these weird names, and so I came up with one. It's hi, I'm Pierre because my bladder is empty. Pierre because my bladder is empty. It's horrible. But Ryan was just like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. So I switched it. At first it was will there's a way. Will there's a way, like where there's a will there's a way, but that one wasn't like I was like, we could do this, and Matthew's like, sure, and I was like,
I'm like,
yeah, sure, yeah, I get you. So
I was
I
coming
was
up with a
trying to
bunch
come
of
up with,
funny ones. I
so
had
it's
a bunch of funny ones. Ryan's
so-
was just like meh. I'm sorry.
sorry. so
it's fine.
so will you marry me? That's my next one. That's my new one.
Okay, so when you say it, I think you should say will and then pause like ever so slightly. You marry me.
Okay. Hi, I'm Will. Will you marry me? And this is R19 News. Tragedy strikes. Just moments ago, we learned of some unbelievable chaos happening in our normal neighborhood. Details are sketchy, but the chaos, thought to be related to shenanigans, is causing a big reaction on social media. For more information, we turn to our on-the-scene reporter. Tad, did I do good? Tad.
Yes, Will. I'm here on the scene, and there is chaos happening. Now, according to eyewitnesses, this has been going on for close to 3 hours now, but nobody really took notice until about 30 minutes ago when it really got going. As you can see here behind me, officials have blocked off the area, and you can't really see much anymore. But when we first arrived on scene, our camera captured this.
Wow,
Insert.
that's incredible, Tad. Do authorities know what caused this, and is the public in any danger?
So far, police haven't said much, though we've heard conversation in which one officer had tied his tongue and so he can't continue. Making this sound like I'm not reading. This is so funny, but we can't see. LOL. Okay, whatever. So far, the police haven't said much, though we have heard over some. I need to like reword that because that's gonna make me. I'll just put overheard. I think that's what
We have 8 people watching us.
Shh, don't say that when I'm doing this. Okay. So far, the police haven't said much, though we overheard a conversation in which one officer said that they think this kid. Okay, so we're gonna do it one more time. Okay.
Ooh, I like Gabe's. Have a we met?
Have a we met. Oh, I get it. Okay. Have a we met. So is that a name, Gabe? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Okay. Like Ryan speaks for Gabe.
I know Gabe's every thought.
How does that make you feel, Gabe, knowing that Ryan has your every thought going through his head? Okay. So far, the police haven't said much.
I shouldn't have gave that away.
What?
I shouldn't have gave that away.
Oh, you shouldn't have gave that away. 2 points, Ryan, because he got one earlier too. Anyway, so far the police haven't said much, though we overheard a conversation in which one officer said that they think that this chaos started out of a simple shenanigan that got. Oh, I already did that joke. I did it twice. Okay. I didn't realize I did it twice. Should I leave it like that or change it?
You just go.
Okay. Okay, so far the police haven't said much, though we have overheard a conversation in which one officer said that he thinks that this chaos started out of a simple shenanigan that got out of hand. Based on that information and the fact that the police haven't yet issued a statement, it doesn't appear that there's a clear threat to the public right now. Though if you live on this street, chaos is definitely going to be a concern for you.
Tad, have residents in the area been given any information or said anything about this? What's the reaction that you're seeing here?
Ryan, not Ryan.
Will Ryan?
Ryan, Will, darn it, missing out. Well, residents don't know much at this point. I was talking with a few people a little bit earlier, and they seem to be in the dark pretty much. One resident, a young mother, she tried to get to her house, and she was told to stay behind the barricade. Here's what she had to say.
Okay, now I gotta change my
settings.
settings.
Ryan claims that people want more Ryan effects from his board. I don't believe him.
Matthew. It's a fact.
Okay, if you say so. So this is him. I wrote this with him in mind. For he has to play a girl again. So.
And I am the girl now that I have my soundboard.
Okay, go ahead, Brian.
Yay! I gotta get the right voice. Gotta get the right voice. Oh, there you go. Okay. It's true. crazy! It's insane! You never think it's gonna happen to you in front of your house! But yeah, it's...
I can't really understand what you're saying. Just
Shining Dawn said I sound possessed.
you do. You really do sound possessed. Yeah, hate to break it to you, Ryan, but your effects are demonic, says Gabe.
Okay, I won't do it.
Just drop the soundboard, says Ryan. Yes, thank you. Someone agrees with me. Drop your soundboard. It'll be
So here's the
broken
thing.
after
I
that.
can't actually hear. People say they can hear my voice and the soundboard voice, but I can't hear it because my voice is
Yeah.
already in my head. So it
Yeah,
just all I
so-
hear is the actual thing. So it sounds better in my.
Yeah.
It sounds better to me
I
than
think-
it does to you guys, I guess. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
it
can
sounds
do
fun.
I can do an old lady.
Do this
I-
post. Do this post. Like pitch it
Yeah.
up in post.
Yeah, post
It'll
is
sound a little
better. Okay.
But still, it's funny.
It's- I can actually do a pretty good old lady, I think. Maybe. Let's see. Let's try.
He says, and then immediately fails. Okay.
It's
I have all the comments.
It's insane.
No, it says a young mother, Ryan, not an old. lady.
Oh, I didn't even see the thing that said it was a mother. I thought it was an old lady.
No,
She
young
talks about
mother.
her cats.
Oh, that's a good point. She does talk about her cats. Maybe it should be an old
I think
lady.
it'd be funny as an old lady. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
I will change what I said, and then we'll go straight into this. Okay.
Okay.
When
When one of the residents.
well, residents don't much know. Well, residents don't know much yet. I was talking with a few people a little bit earlier, and they seem to be in the dark. When one of the residents, an old lady, tried to get to her house, she was told behind to stay. She was told behind to stay the red barricade. Well, residents don't know much. I was talking with a few people a little earlier, and they seem to be in the dark. When one of the residents, an old lady, was trying to get to her house, she was told to stay behind the barricade. Here's what she had to say.
Okay. It's crazy. It's insane. You never think it's gonna happen to you in front of your own house. But yeah, it's happening.
I'm sorry, I was trying not to laugh. So what is going through your head right now?
Can you say that one more time?
So what is going through your head right now?
My biggest concern is our dog and cat. They're still in our house, and I don't know if they're gonna be okay or what. They'll need to be checked on soon. I was only supposed to be gone for a quick trip to the store, and I don't know when I'll be able to get back in my house. It's just crazy that they haven't told me anything. I just don't know.
Do you mean the
little kitty Susie? How is she going to survive without me? I'm her life. I think
mean-
that I don't know. And little Jimmy the puppy, he needs to be fed. He needs his treats. He needs his sausage. He needs his food. If he doesn't, he'll eat the cat. And then the cat will. Oh no.
Cut.
Oh no.
Cut back to We'll skip what I wrote. That was better.
To people who don't realize, half of that wasn't even in the script.
Yeah.
I was supposed to stop at. They didn't tell me anything, and then I was just like, "What if I just made her keep going?"
Yeah, and then I tried to get in words, but you can't get in address.
Anyway, they haven't told me anything.
You mean the police?
Yeah. The police just told me to wait here. I can't get by the house. I can't get by the house. I can't get by the house.
No. Okay. Go back.
I
Go
can't.
back.
I can't get.
Try again.
Yeah. The police just told me to. Oh.
How about this? I'll say my thing. You mean the police?
Yeah. The police just told me to wait here and that I can't get to my house, even to check on the animals.
Now, yeah, coming back from.
Stella! I'm coming for you!
Kind of thing, right? Yeah. Now, this lady wasn't the only one to be concerned for her animals. Several of the other residents from the street have also expressed similar concerns for their own pets who are still in their homes. And like we'll get like cut mid-sentence that way, like wherever you want.
Or maybe it'll go back to me. Well, that sounds pretty interesting. Unfortunately,
That's unfortunately. See, we never stick to the script, people.
or oh, that sounds pretty interesting. We actually have another reporter who has more to say on this incident. We got to.
Okay, whatever you want. You're in charge because you're editing this one.
Woo! I
You're like,
have power.
The power. I got the power. Yeah. We interrupted. No. We interrupt this break. No, we interrupt this breaking news story to bring you Ryan and Matt. Okay. We interrupt this breaking news story to bring you Ryan Matlock and Matthew Bird singing. Already in progress.
Jazz hands, yeah. So yeah, that's what it would look like if we were to do a musical version of the show.
Well, yeah, but so thanks for the question, Zach. That was a fun one.
Yeah, that question, as well as the question where we like answered all the relationship questions that have like it was really cool how we were able to do that. Like, I don't know how we pulled off answering every single relationship question we've ever received in like that amount of time, but we did it. So that's great.
It's one of the, I think, most dense question segments we've ever had. It's really, you shouldn't have missed that. It's you know, I'm glad we got it on air, you know, on recorded.
Yep.
For this.
Yep.
Anyway, so next question comes from Joshua, and this is not my brother.
And it's not Josh Taylor.
And it's not
my boss.
No.
And it's not from the Bible.
It's just, yep, there's a lot of Joshuas, but it's not none of them. There's another Josh, just Josh. He says, "Hi Ryan and Matthew, I want to create a podcast called The Not So Secret Life of a Christian Teenager, which, in case you heard the InnerTube show this week, its name is not a spin-off name from The Secret Life of an American Teenager. Anyway, I need a good website to use for it that is either free or doesn't cost very much to use and is easy to use. I really like your show, and any ideas that you might have for me would be very helpful. Thank you." And that, we're gonna roll with my mistake in there. First, Ryan, is it okay if I talk a little bit about like how we're set up for the podcast here with
oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
so
go for it.
We are, well, I do. I'm a web development professional, and I use professional in the term that I get paid to do it. But I am I've done this for many clients and stuff. So when Ryan and I wanted to set up a website for the aux cable, I was just like, oh, we'll do it like I do any other website, which is set it up through a WordPress self-hosted website.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what we're running right now for the aux cable, which gives us full control and everything. And it doesn't cost us extra money because I already have hosting space for that. But it does cost us for the domain name. And whatever solution you choose to go with, if you're gonna like commit to it, I think that you should get a domain name no matter what, because they're not that much. They're like most registrars will do like between $10 and $20 per year, and that's just for like the .com name or .ca or whatever. I'm Canadian, so I think .ca. Everyone else is like, what?
What?
But ICANN, the body that regulates the .coms and things, they recently opened it up so that there's like, you know, dot everything after it. So there's now like .google,
it's weird.
Website,
dot
everything, but all
dot
news, whatever. All those ones cost different amounts, but .com is usually the cheapest because it is so like synonymous and like the standard of,
right,
like,
but at the same time, .com is the most taken. Like if you have an idea for a very specific brand name that is pretty short, so like if you have 2 words that you want to stick together, chances are it's taken.
Yeah. See, like aux cable, I'm pretty sure was taken. So we were like,
that's why it's aux
same with like
show.
all the socials. So also when you're choosing a domain name, think about your socials, because usually you want to have like your social handle match your domain name, like everything be the same. That way it's more consistent. And when you say one thing, everyone's like, oh, and it's like something, you have to be like, oh, was that this version or that version? It's just like, oh no, it's like for us, everything's aux cable show. So oxcableshow.com or at oxcableshow on Twitter,
Right.
Facebook, Instagram, whatever else we're on.
Yeah.
But
YouTube.
Ryan, YouTube. Although I don't think we have a username for us yet, do we?
I think we do. I'm pretty sure I at least took the. I think I reserved the URL.
Okay. So if you really wanted to like create a website and you wanted something custom or any help, you could but like I would charge you if you contacted me. It wouldn't be like a huge amount depending on what we do. Ryan, you've set up websites before for some of your projects, mostly your entrepreneur.
Yeah, like
that's not happening right now.
Right.
I'm just gonna dig that knife in a little deeper.
Thanks.
So what did you do for your website there?
Yeah, so actually I've done a bunch of stuff for different websites. Like I've got my entrepreneur website, and then there's also theryanmatlock.com. Theryanmatlock.com I'm much more proud of. Partially just because like that's the one that I'm doing similar. It's a self-hosted WordPress site that's the hosting is through Bluehost and then WordPress. And so all sorts of cool stuff there. But I've also, for my previous podcast that I was doing, because he is asking about podcasting.
Yes,
and also, let's see, did he ask for a free solution? Yes, free. Either free or doesn't cost very much.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends on whether you care about the domain and everything looking good. Because if you really want to do something free, then you can set up a Blogspot website, which like it'll be, for example, if your URL is like Secret Life of Christian Teenager, or not so secret christianteenager.com or whatever it is, or even just an abbreviation, then if you set it up through Blogspot or Blogger, I don't know which one is. It's Blogger, but then the URL is Blogspot, I think.
Yeah. So
if they still do that, it's really old. I don't see
Blogger?
Blogger websites as often these days.
I'm pretty sure they do.
But yeah, if you set that up, then you'll have that, and it'll be something like christianlife.blogspot.com. And so it'll be a little bit harder, like if you're doing word of mouth stuff, like, oh, just type this in, something.blogspot, and then it's more for them to remember. But if you're doing stuff online, links people can click. So it's not as huge of a deal. And then if you do that, then also when it comes to hosting the files, because I don't know if you were able to do that on a Blogger. Are you able to just host it on your Blogger stuff?
I don't. I've never done a podcast through Blogger.
Okay, because when I was doing it, I had to upload to archive.org and then embed the archive file.
Yeah, because the thing is with these free hosts or the relatively cheap ones, there's limits placed on like file sizes and stuff. So you can't just like upload an hour-long podcast episode because that takes up more space than they allow you. So you have to like because like the podcast stream and everything is separate from the website. Usually, the way that we have it set up, it's all through WordPress. And a plugin, because this is a self-hosted WordPress thing, WordPress.com. If you go through there, you can get a free account on WordPress.com. It works a lot like Blogger, but and then you can actually like connect a .com domain to that very easily. But the way that we have it with our self-hosted, we use a plugin called Blueberry, and Blueberry also offers some hosting options for podcasts, and it's paid. But they give you a web page. Same with Libsyn, which is what Josh Taylor uses with his podcasts. They give you a website as well. But those web pages aren't very nice. They're basically just an RSS feed of your podcast, and then you can put in some widgets and things.
Yeah.
But it might be a good place to get started, because if you wanted to pay for hosting your podcast through Libsyn or Blueberry or whatever, using their default templates just as a starting point might be useful, and then you can like branch out or whatever. But usually people create a separate website. I like Ryan said, Blogger. I recommend WordPress.com because it's free. And that is our time for this part. Yay!
Oh my! Okay. I wanted to also just mention real quick, Corbin Garcia somehow manages to make his podcast on Tumblr. So check that out.
Check out his podcast. It's called Rocket to Anywhere.
Yeah.
there'll be a link in the show notes, and I'm going to make a note of that.
Perfect.
So that
Thank
I remember
you.
to put it in the show notes.
But yeah,
we
get
mentioned
a
something-
domain name, do WordPress or Blogger or whatever. Just figure out what works.
Mhm.
Okay, next question. I can't remember which one of us asked the first one.
I did.
Okay, then I'll read the second one. Okay, this
Hi.
comes from
Kidding.
Amber Christine, and she says, "Hi, Matthew and Ryan.
Oh, hi.
Got any advice for applying for your first job? I'm looking to apply for a part-time retail position at my local nursery/garden supply store, but I don't have any professional work experience. I do know a lot about plants and have been gardening for years, but do you think this would count as relevant skills or training? My application is looking pretty blank, so I would love to hear some of your patented aux cable advice on everything. Everything." Amber Christine.
We patented that.
I guess so. We should.
How do you patent that? Well, I mean, like they can patent.
You just type everything, and then you send it, and then you send it to the patent office.
Patent office. Okay. So we have 7 minutes, Ryan, for this.
Oh, okay. So go.
So go. I have to. Okay. So
I asked
Amber,
the question. You can go first.
Okay. So Amber, you're asking for tips on applying your first job. Maybe you shouldn't be asking me because I've never applied for a job. No, I'm kidding. I have.
You gotta apply yourself more, Matthew.
No, the thing is that like I've had jobs basically handed to me. Like even before I started working, someone the guy who runs our local back in Fort Smith, the guy who ran the drugstore was like, "Hey, when you are old enough to like have a job, apply here because you'd be great. We'd love to have you." So when Mom was like, "Yeah, you should get a job now," I just I talked to Todd, and I was just like, "Here's my application." Like I filled out one of those applications. I didn't really like fill out anything other than just the application, and he was just because that's all he wanted, right? Because he knew me. But that's like small town thing. And then that same week, I was hired by the library. I didn't even have to apply for that job because they were just like, "Oh, hey, Matthew volunteers at the library. Why don't we just like pay him?" So, and then from there, like I never ever really applied for anything. I applied for like a big contract. Like I bid on a contract, but
Gabe
that's
says,
about it.
"Check your job privilege."
Oh, okay. Gabe, I'm having to like apply for jobs now because I'm like down south where things aren't just like handed out. As I mean, like a small town, you know everybody, so like you just say one thing and like everyone's just like, "Oh yeah," you know. When I started doing freelance websites and technology and stuff like that, word got out, and then people just show up on my door and they're like, "Hey, can you help with this?" Or like they message me, and so it was very easy. But I still have some tips for you, Christine. When you're like filling out relevant skills and training, and you're trying, like you said, you have some experience, you know a lot about plants and have been gardening for years. And yes, it would count as relevant skills or training. Like there's no like formalized thing necessarily that you can say, "Oh yeah, I did this for this group." But if you can think of a way that you can do that, because maybe you volunteered at like a community garden, or maybe you did it for, I don't know exactly. I don't know what opportunities you would have had to do that in a place. But if you have other people that can sort of be like the mentor in that situation, then you can sort of list them as sort of like mentoring you in that field. That way you can sort of say like, this person sort of showed me how to do it, and you can say how long you did it, because it is relevant. It's just that you like, how do you put that down onto a resume, right, Ryan? Like,
yeah,
like how do you capture that?
You
can
don't.
be challenging.
So here's my answer. So first off, is my first piece of advice is not to apply through like a resume or like sending in a form or something. Apply in person. So first off, wait, what?
You apply in person, but you also bring a paper with you, because you apply in person, but you
can, but I want to point out that all businesses receive resumes. Giving them a resume isn't unique. Getting a job is all about being unique and
Standing
being
out from the
different
crowd.
from every other person who wants to work there, because
Yeah.
you got to show that you're going to be able to do the job better and in a new way that's going to be, well, as I said earlier, better than anyone else.
I think you're trying to
Yeah.
say more like attention getting, not better necessarily, but more attention getting,
Yeah,
because then
yeah,
it would
more
stand out.
attention. Well, not necessarily more attention getting, but like there are better ways. Like if you give them a piece of paper and it's got just tons of information, and like they see this and it's like, ugh, what? This is gonna take forever to read through. They're not gonna read through it. They're gonna skim it. They're gonna see if there's anything that stands out, and if there's not, they're gonna toss it in the trash. And if you're the one thing that I saw, one person put together an infographic that was really well laid out, really simple, and explained like where they'd been, and it was way better than a resume. And that's one example, but
It is still a
in
resume,
your
though,
case,
because a resume means like a piece of something, information about previous employment. and
right,
training.
right. So a resume doesn't
It's
have to
just-
be like an average resume, but yeah. So that's one thing is like
Change the
being
format.
special
Like
about that.
infographics a really good idea. It also depends on what kind of job. Like this is like a entry level job type thing. So
Yeah. And so that's the one thing is that when so this is the second part to applying in person. When you apply in person, oftentimes they'll have a form. They won't actually ask for your resume right then and there. Because so most entry level jobs, so far as in my experience. So for example, when I applied to Chick-fil-A, they didn't ask for my resume per se. What they did ask for was they had like a little form to fill out. And so it had questions on it, and I had to fill out a bunch of resume type questions like past job experience, past volunteer experience, personal information, things like that. And so that was basically as much as of a resume that they got. And so here's the thing. When I handed it back after completing it in the store, by using information that I had on my phone and in my memory, I handed it back to them and I said, when could I schedule a follow-up appointment to interview? And so that's one thing that first off set me aside from the crowd. It shows that I'm not going to like from store to store and filling out information and then leaving and hoping that one of them turns up. What I'm doing is I'm being intentional. I'm saying I want to work here, and I'm going to put more than words. I'm going to put more than words on paper down to prove it. I'm going to put words in person into your ear to do it.
So like part of that is that you're showing that you're like actually, because they don't want to just hire someone that is just like passing by, like, oh hey, this would be, I just want work, that's all I want, work. Whereas if you show interest that you're like, I want to be a part of this team, and a lot of question. Wow, that went really fast. We can keep talking now.
Wow. Yes.
But like a lot of people when they're hiring, they actually want to see like, okay, how do you want to grow within this team? What do you see? Like they're looking for like your excitement and your passion and what you think that you can bring to the team and what you can get out of the team, but also what you see as their vision, like how your visions can like match up and stuff. So it's very like, especially if you want it to be like a long-term thing, like really show your interest. And that's why you would want to apply in person. Like always, okay, so you apply in person. If you fill out a form or give them a resume, whichever you do, make sure that it's tailored to them. You don't want to like just give them a generic
one size fits all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Yeah. And with relevant experience,
Right. But she does say that she doesn't have any experience. So that's a good question. What do you do when you don't have experience in the field that you're trying to go into? Like when you're trying to be an entry level worker.
She just doesn't have like formalized experience is the thing.
So she says she doesn't have professional work experience. She just knows a lot about plants and gardening for years. So yes, that does count as relevant skills and training. So definitely like put that on there. Like even though it's not professional experience, saying I have 3+ years or however long it is experience in gardening and plant knowledge, something like that. That's going to make you stand out. On top of that, what a lot of business, here's something that's very rare for business owners who are looking for talent to find, and that's good work ethic, is Like someone who
First thing to put on your resume: good work ethic,
No,
because
don't put it
nobody
on your
else has
resume.
that on your
Don't put it
resume.
on your
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
put it in your job interview, because the job interview is where all the magic happens. Because when you
Mhm.
when you read a piece of paper, there's only so much you can find out about a person, especially if it's
Yeah.
a form. That piece of paper is only so that when they get into the interview, they know more than you do. So here's what you do is you flip the scales, because the best interviewee is the person who knows more than the employer knows, who knows, like, when the employer asks, what's your opinion, or what are your thoughts on do you have experience working in a high stress environment, something like that. Someone who's like, let me think about that, I'm not sure, well, that's not impressive. Or saying like, well, like school's kind of stressful, that's not impressive either. But if you can think about like your philosophy on work is an important thing to have. Because when I was
Mhm.
interviewing, one thing that I think made a huge difference was when they asked something along the lines of like, why do you think that you'd be good to work here? And
Yeah.
I said something to the effect of, well, first off, I am a hard worker, and I believe that the moment I clock in is this time
you,
is
you walk in with your clogs. I heard clog in, not clock in.
I
So
clock
that's
in.
like-
Clock.
Plug.
Those aren't appropriate for Chick-fil-A. How dare you?
That violates health code.
The moment that I clock in, that time from that time until I clock out is Chick-fil-A or whatever place I'm working. If I'm working here, it's Chick-fil-A's time, and I need to devote all of that time to them. And that means that I'm not going to slack off on the job. It means that if there's a time where I'm at register, I'm placed at register, and there's no one in the store that needs to take orders, I'm not going to just stand there. I'm going to do something. I'm going to figure out what needs to be done and do it.
Yeah, but keep an eye on the register. So if someone
Right.
steps up, then you're like instantly
Absolutely.
there. 'Cause
Like
that's your priority.
right, like keep priorities, but absolutely work ethic. When it's time to do work, you work, and there's always something to do. And
Mhm.
just making sure that you know what your perspective is on work and communicating that as well as possible to your employer. That's going to set you above the crowd, because like
Mhm.
it's going to put you as the person who wants to work and work well versus the other person who wants to work or doesn't want to work, just wants money.
Yeah. So after like you do this original like applying in person stuff, always try to follow up, and if you can follow up in person and like set appointments and be like, hey, can we like like Ryan said, like can we schedule a conversation or something? But yeah,
Right.
just try and like follow up, give calls, because if you don't follow up and you don't give calls, then you're not going to stand out again. And just really like express your interest and your excitement by just being excited and interested in it. Like don't just be like, oh, I'm excited, interested in this kind of thing. Just like
Right.
actually like be excited and interested in it. Don't just say I'm excited and interested in this.
Yep. And I do have a few other specific tips, like things that are sort of in the background of your mind. Like you're thinking about how to interview. There's ways to go into an interview that are also good. Like, for example, dress well. Don't go in like t-shirt and jeans. Put on
Mhm.
like for me, I put on a polo and khakis to go into my interview. And that's like the first thing, is because first off, it makes you more confident if you're wearing dressier clothes. It's actually I don't know if it's actually officially scientifically proved, but I heard it on the internet, so it must be true.
The podcast that just takes the internet and regurgitates it
Blah.
through our brains.
So there's that, and then it also shows your employer that you're taking this seriously. Also, have a forward tilt, and by that I mean
Lean forward.
Lean forward, yeah, because it shows that you're listening to them, that you're in this conversation. If you lean back, it makes you look like you're not invested in the conversation, like you're reserved, like you're uncomfortable.
Like right now, I'm
Lean
like,
forward.
Ryan, what are you doing? I'm just like over this. I'm.
He's leaning back.
I'm
For those
leaning
who
back. For
don't
those-
have a live stream to
I'm
see.
back here. I'm just like Ryan. Okay, whatever. We're done talking now.
And then the final thing is to be honest. Don't over or undersell yourself. Don't like say, oh well, I only had this much experience, or oh, I had so much experience for my 5 months I was doing this.
Yeah, like
Be honest.
I've
be
done it a
real.
long time. I've not seen a lot of things, and I've not had like a lot of exposure to like the retail market for gardening, perhaps. But like
But I want to learn as fast as possible, or something like that.
yeah. Show that you are excited, and just saying that it's part of your life and something that you've always been interested in, and that you grew up with it and things like that. Those kinds of things. It shows that it's actually a part of you and that you are excited about it. It's not just something like, oh, I just thought gardening would be fun to do, so I jumped in here. It's like, no, because if it's actually like part of your excitement in life is to garden and stuff like that, then say that, because they'll look at that as sort of a thing. But yeah, just again, like Ryan said, honesty and overselling, but I mean, not overselling or underselling. Just Anyway.
And one last thing, like going off of that,
one more thing.
Yeah, so this is actually something that it's based on a TED
Don't talk too much during your interview.
I'm sorry. One more time. So,
That's what Ryan's doing. Don't copy Ryan, okay?
This is why I didn't get that job at the library. Just kidding. So, this is something based off of a TED Talk that I saw once, and it's that people don't buy. So this was talking about brands and marketing and stuff, but people don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it. And that's why Apple does really well in their marketing. Everyone thinks they're so innovative because when they do their commercials, they say, like, here's why we wanted to truly innovate something, or we wanted to make quality technology or something.
We brought it back to the beginning.
So you're already sold on why they decided to do it. So then when they tell you what they do, you're sold and you want to do it. So like the same thing applies to jobs.
It's the whole thing. Like, I mean, like when you're trying to sell yourself to anybody, websites, you'll notice today, they explain the story behind everything. And the website tells a story. It's not listing like, oh, it does this, does that, the other thing. It's like, and when you go to Kickstarter pages and everything, it's telling the story about it. It's not talking about so much like the outcome.
You got to scroll forever to find out what the thing does.
You're like, wait, what is this? Like, okay, I get it. You were in the hot tub and you thought of something. Okay, we get that. Everybody does that though. What did you think of though? Come on. So just anyway, I think you're done, Ryan.
Yeah, just figure out why you figure out why you care, and then tell them I'm done. Thank you everyone so much for listening to this episode where I am done.
Actually, this is actually one of the shorter. I mean, like it's like we're.
He said at 59 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, like we were over an hour usually in recording, usually at this point for the past several episodes. Anyway, so this has been episode 31. As Ryan always says, we have 32. A little bit of wrap up. 32. Thank you to the 9 people or whichever number of people watched us live. We'll announce more about the live stuff in the future once we figure out what we're doing.
So at this point, here's what I'm thinking the plan is. This was a test run which we made available to everyone in the future.
So we did practice after all.
We did. and in the future, it'll only be for patrons until we reach $100 on Patreon. And then once it does, we're going to open it back up. And that's coming pretty soon. So I only see like 2 or 3 episodes maybe going by. I could be wrong. We'll see. It just depends on whether we maintain our rate of patronage. But yeah, we'll open it back up once we reach 100, which is just awesome because also Christopher Hager pledged to us this week. So we're actually at 70.
No, he pledged to us a week and a half ago, Ryan, 2 weeks ago.
No, oh, right. So according to this podcast, it was 2 weeks ago. So by now it could be like we're already at 100. So we never got a chance. But yeah, so yeah, that is the end of this episode, and we'll get to live streaming to patrons in the meantime, and then hopefully back to the public once we reach that 100. And so we got a question of the week.
Do we? Oh, we actually pre-wrote one this time before.
You did,
I did. So
Credit
at
where
the beginning of
credit's due.
Come on, team though. It's like we team.
Team. There is no I in. There's no I
Yeah.
or you in team, so I guess like it's just someone else.
Who is it though?
E.
Okay. So at the beginning of the episode, we were talking about breakfast cereals and what would you make. So I want to know what kind of breakfast cereal would you invent if you could make it from like whatever you want. Like I said, mini pizzas. Brian said mini waffles, or like grated sogginess levels of Cheerios, like pre-sogged Cheerios. That just sounds bad now when I put it like that. I'm sorry, Ryan. I think that one's going to be like, maybe we should have like an episode where we like parody Dragon's Den / Shark's Tank. And we'll take the ideas that people send us for breakfast cereals and we'll like dramatize it and we'll be like, okay, here's the idea for this breakfast cereal and everything. And it'll be like really,
or
like,
it could
stingy.
be, or it could be like those chef shows, like, okay, what have you made for us? What have you made for us? Well, it's a gourmet Cheerio that never gets soggy. This is disgusting. Well, actually, I loved it.
Yeah, I saw the passion that you're giving into the dish as we're making it, but it just doesn't show on the plate. Like I don't see any of your energy in here, but I saw it while you're cooking. What that, it's like Chopped. I watched
This
Chopped.
Cheerio is so raw. It could be a picture file.
Mine was cooked, but I don't think his was. Yeah, so you need to like watch your cook times on that.
Did you catch my Gordon Ramsay impression?
A little bit. Oh, did you see Gordon Ramsay on YouTube? He pranked somebody who was on like the judges on a show. He stuck his hand into a blender, and he was trying to fix it, and it ended up going off while his hand was in there, and the whole blender turned red. And it just like chopped, and he pulls his hand out and he's like, and he's like swearing up a storm, and like the whole show stops and everyone's just like, what's going on? Like, did that just happen? And then after like, a fake medic comes out and everything, and they're like, he's like, hi, I got you. It's fine. See, like my hand's fine. And like
That's
the judges
terrible.
Were, like, scared. Anyway, use hashtag Oxcable Cereal or comment on the post for this episode 32 on our website. And just let us know what breakfast cereal would you make, and let Ryan know that his soggy Cheerio idea is really, really brilliant.
It's magical.
The best idea ever.
Now, how do we do it?
Delicious. Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
There you go.
And you can email us questions at oxcableshow.com. We thrive on questions here at the Ox Cable. And yes, I got you to laugh that time.
See, I wrote that forever ago, and then Ryan started saying that every single time, and now it's just become part of the thing. So, and now he's turned it into we thrive.
We thrive on the podcast.
I roll.
So send us questions. You can also go to oxcableshow.com to fill out a form there. And also, don't forget about our survey, because you'll get monies and Skypes if you fill it out and get chosen in the random thing.
Skypes.
A chance. You'll get a chance. Or will you get a community chest?
Ooh. Which reminds me, there was some conversation and stuff after the last episode, which was episode 31, but actually we're talking about episode 30 because
episode 31 doesn't exist yet.
It doesn't exist yet. It's coming out in a little bit. Or it came out last week. So much time travel. Okay, so last week we talked about bucket lists. Or not last week. 2 episodes we talked about bucket lists. And there's a lot of feedback about bucket list items. And a lot of people are saying that they don't have physical written down bucket lists. It's all just in their heads. And I'm like, okay, so I think that, people should actually, like, I don't do this yet, but I should do this. Get like a jar and have some sticky notes or pieces of paper or something and write down your actual bucket list items and put them in there, and then like start doing them now, because why wait to put those things off when you can't do it necessarily because something happened and you can't do that now, So I that's my challenge. But some people are like talking about I just lost it. Ryan.
What?
I have to reload my page. You talk or something.
Okay, so we're gonna go through like what we're gonna start doing with comments and stuff on the page is I think it'd be cool to start saying like my favorite podcast comment from the last episode was, and then read it. So I'm gonna read mine favorite comment, and that was it was Mason, and he said, "I'll plug my fridge into the aux cable. It'll love it." Which it just sounds interesting. Like it would be cool if you opened a refrigerator and it was just like, bump, 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 the aux cable has been plugged in, and now so are you. And then you
on top
close
of
it
like
and it stopped.
it's like the fridge light come on, except it's the whole aux cable comes on.
Or you
wouldn't that be-
when
like
you open
Ryan's
refrigerators, it kind of sounds like an aux cable.
Does it? Okay. It's a buzzing sound.
Yeah.
It's like the buzzing sound, and then Ryan saying, "This week on the show, I make pastrami sandwich. This week on the aux cable." Man Alive Smith was talking about assassinating people during a volleyball game.
What?
Or at least Don was, and then Man Alive Smith responded to it or something. I don't know. It's intense. I glossed over that one. I was more interested in some of the other things, like the people were saying that they wanted to go to Hobbiton, which is the fictional place where Bilbo Baggins and all the hobbits come from in the Lord of the Rings series and the Hobbit books / movies. So I would love to do that too. There's a lot of people also mentioning Disney World and Disneyland.
Okay.
I would rather go to Hobbiton than Disney World, personally. Unless Johnny Depp happened to be. Did you see Johnny Depp was at Disney World?
No.
Like 2 weeks ago or
Nope.
4 weeks ago when this podcast. Because he was in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and instead of having like the animatronic pirates in there, he was standing there and replacing one of the animatronic pirates.
Wow, he looks so real.
Yeah, well, people were like that. He's like, "Are you one of those animatronic?" And he's like, "Animatronic, yes." And it's like, it was great. Some people got some video of it and they posted it online. It's really funny, like because it was a marketing thing for the new Pirates movie coming out in a month, or less than a month now, I guess. And I'm totally like, yes, all the Johnny Depps, as Captain Jack Sparrow. I love him. Anyway, and Zai was asking, can somebody please explain what FTR PT Dibs means, or whatever Matthew keeps saying? I'm assuming FTR is for the record, but I'm confused as to what the rest of it means. Kids these days. First of all, thank you for calling me a kid. Second of all, it's not PT Dibs, it's BT Dubs, as in like BTW. I think I've explained this in the comments, but just for everyone else, if you are wondering what I am saying, I'm saying I usually so I have this thing where I just like FTR, BT Dubs, LOL, JK, Donkey. So it's just a long list of like acronyms for things. So it's like FTR for the record, BT Dubs, by the way, because BTW. LOL, laugh out loud, JK, just kidding, or JK Rowling. And then Donkey is just Donkey, because you have to Donkey.
Because inner tube.
No, that's not why, actually.
It's not a ref?
It's not. I just threw it
It's
in.
okay. You know,
with some friends.
you
No, I
can
know.
ref now.
I know, but I was talking with a friend, and whenever I said like BT Dub, I would say BT Dubs, and then I would say LOL, JK, and then I just threw in Donkey to the list because, for fun, and now it's just become a thing that I just throw Donkey at the end of lists sometimes.
Okay.
So it's
Well,
not a reference. It's
that's interesting, funny, and unexpected. Donkey.
That's what it's supposed to be. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening to the Aux Cable.
Is that what they just did?
Or watching it, technically.
Is that what they just did? Or
it is what they just did. It's what the live streamers did. Everyone else is not a live streamer.
Thank you everybody for listening and commenting on YouTube. This is great. It's been a lot of fun to see like live reactions to everything. People are saying like carrot cereals and chocolate fruit cereals and protein mix cereals and things, and I'm just like laughing my head off, trying not to interrupt Ryan.
Well,
anyway,
yeah.
Anyway, we'll call it an episode, Ryan. Eh?
Yeah, I think that's all that we've got for this episode.
Okay.
Support us on Patreon and patreon.com/Matt
something.
Lock, and we'll see you in the next
wait,
episode. Hold on.
Okay, yeah.
Matthew, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast.
No, you have to do something else before that. You have to thank certain people from Patreon. You didn't do that yet.
Oh, yes, I do. Okay, I'm going to go back, actually. I don't know why I forgot to do that. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's all for the podcast, except for we have to thank our lovely patron supporters, as well as specifically probably Christian Productions and also Man Alive Smith for supporting us with their generous donations of above a certain amount. That is great. And also, let's see, I need to check and see if Man Alive Smith actually asked me to say anything specific for this episode.
So prepared you are, Ryan.
So prepared.
Hey, Man Alive Smith, if you want to have like those questions be in the script, send them to me.
Did I already do the face thing? Like
What?
last week? I did. Okay. Well, and this podcast is sponsored by probably Christian Productions and Man Alive Smith, as well as Salt. And all our patrons.
Wow. The whole salt industry, eh?
Well, no, not the whole salt industry, but actually, I do
Like
love
salted
salt so
salt.
much. Like, I really enjoy salt. It's great. I put it on like everything, including popcorn, a lot. And the problem is that I would find that I'd bring food or snacks up to my room, and then I wouldn't have enough salt on it, and then I'd have to bring it back downstairs and then salt it. So I went to the store and I picked up a thing of salt to have on my desk. So this has been powering me this will be powering me when I edit and I eat snacks. So this in and of itself is it's salt, and it's powering the podcast. So the podcast isn't sponsored, but it's brought to you by Salt.
Okay. Thank you, Salt. It's kind of like I would on the Community Fancast, which is being brought back to life. Check it out. That's an Aux Cable plug for the Community Fancast. Originally, I would say like this episode is brought to you by Joanna Martin, because it was a joke that she was giving me time to edit the podcast. Like, instead of bugging me on Messenger and like her and I spending time, yeah. So it's not like she's like sponsoring us, but she's giving me the time to edit. Anyway, yes, lovely salt you have there, Ryan, says Shining Dawn. So that is it for this episode. It's been a pleasure doing the podcast with you, Ryan.
Oh, and it's been a pleasure doing the podcast with you, Matthew.
Okay.
And I think that's all. Thank you to the people watching the live stream, and we'll see you again in the next episode. Bye.
Yeah. I just jumped in there and said it. Yay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, don't say that. I'm gonna stop it and push save.
All right, sounds great.
And
But
then
yeah,
next
thank you
time-
everyone for watching the live stream. All 4 of you that remain.
There was like a peak of 9 or 10 people there.
Uh-huh.
And everybody who's watching this after the fact, what's wrong with you? You didn't watch it live.
You're talking to Andy there.
Oh yeah, working people. I'm sorry, Angie. Happy birthday, Angie.
Happy birthday.
She's gonna be for saying that. I don't know. She might be not so happy with us like talking about her birthday too much, but we didn't like highlight it so much, But she also made a big deal about our birthdays, so
True.
it's just that I don't know if you. Oh, she posted about it on her Instagram, so she's very like, what is my life about like her birthdays? She's just like, what even? I'm like, I don't even. Okay, celebrating birthdays is weird, right, Ryan?
No.
Okay. Okay. Are you just like reading stuff or what? No
Yes.
problem. I forgot to like this. LOL. Okay. Oh, I was thinking about doing something fun with the podcast on Instagram/YouTube, and I'm not going to talk about it very specifically, but the one downside to that is that it's going to take more effort, and Ryan's the one who usually does YouTubey stuff, and Shining Dawn agrees with me. Guys, birthdays. Let me tell you something. She's just watch. She's going to agree with me here. Anyway, Ryan usually does the YouTubey things, and we had some ideas and stuff for YouTube, and now that we're like sort of like getting patrons and stuff, I'm like, maybe we should like step up our stuff a little bit and put more effort into it. No, we don't put effort. We put effort in the show. No, I was just like coming up with some new ideas, and so I wanted to like try them out and stuff. So we'll probably be trying that out over the next 2 months here. And
Cool.
Ryan doesn't know anything about what I'm talking about. So
I
my
know.
brother and I were. Oh, you know.
I know everything.
You know everything.
I don't.
Everything. Yeah, everything. My brother and I were born on my mother's birthday, so whenever our birthday rolls around, it's second Christmas. Wow, so it's just like 3 people's birthdays in the same family all on the same day. Wow, that's impressive. I said hi for Angie, says Olivia. Okay, should we just wrap this up, Ryan, like a Christmas present?
Yep.
Or a birthday present?
Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great weekend, and we will see you.
Have a fun Saturday, everybody.
We will see you in the next time that we live stream and you're available, and it's public.
Yep.
And also on
Okay.
the socials.
I hope that you guys laughed a little bit. If not, then go find something to laugh at, because laughter is important. I prescribe laughter today. That's my prescription of the day.
Thank you,
Okay.
Dr. Matthew.
You're welcome.
Brooke AC, no, you just got here.
Oh no. Okay,
so
we'll
you can
talk
watch the entire thing.
Yeah, and just pretend it's
It sounds so
live.
conceited. You can watch us for
Yeah, you can
hours.
watch this for more time. Yeah. Oh, poor Brooke. Yeah. We can talk for like 20 more seconds, Brooke, and then we're gonna be gone. Okay. So for these next 20 seconds, well, let's do a 20-second countdown. Okay, Ryan? Okay.
20, 19,
19,
18, 17.
16,
Let's echo for
15.
20 seconds.
14, 13, 12,
12,
11,
11,
10,
10,
9,
9,
8,
8,
7,
6,
6,
5,
5,
3,
4,
4,
2,
1,
3,
0,
1.
2.
Oh no! Oh no! It's over.